So, hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of Let Me Tell You About Homestuck. And I think I've been looking at a little bit too much Japanese fashion, because today I was like, I'm just gonna wear silly stuff. I have my bat necklace from Hip Hop Candy for Halloween, and then I have like these ears I had for a costume before, and this bow that I got too. And I did my eyes. They're kind of cool. But yeah, I don't know. Even though it totally doesn't match my t-shirt, I was like, I'm just gonna have fun with this today. I don't know. I'm trying to make these more lively so I don't sit at the camera and talk monotone all the time. I guess the reason I try to like speed things up super fast is because like I don't want to be talking for like 15 minutes and like everybody's like, oh my gosh, this is so boring. Is she done? Ugh. There are only 2 updates this week, but each of them were really long. One happened Sunday and the other one happened today, or perhaps last night, but I went to sleep, so I don't know. It's up. So we left off with Jake's death. You know, he got stabbed with Jane's fork and dropped to the ground and stuff. And we start with Brain Ghost Dirk is completely disappeared. Like he disappears and he drops Arania. And of course she's a little confused about that. And then you know, Jake splats on the ground and there's the dead thing. And yeah, he lands right beside Terezi and he's kind of knocked her backwards a little bit. And at that exact time is when Arania's mind control kind of snaps. And Gamzee, like, he looks like the normal lovable Gamzee that we really, you know, really like for a minute, like the cool one. And yeah, so then it flips back to Arania, who is just made a comment about how painful the soul sucking is, but of course it would be. I mean, I don't think it's going to be pleasant having your soul sucked out, right? Am I right? I'm sure nobody has any experience with this. Okay, so after that, it switches back to Gamzee. Hold up. I'm looking at my notes. I know, I'm just great. Oh, right before that, Jane comes diving towards her, and like there's a shocked face from her, and yeah, I remember that. All right. Then it switches back to Terezi. Terezi's crying, and Gamzee's saying, you know, Terezi, stop, you're hurting me. You know, and he looks, like I said, he looks like that Gamzee that's like, oh, it's Gamzee. But, you know, is it going to stick that way? Is it? And it's able to snap her out of, you know, her, like, stab bit. So, yeah. Alright. Arania then attempts to use her mind control on Jane, and you see just Jane start going Z. Like, that seems to be the only, like, thing that's happening. And she's clearly in pain, but she's fighting it. Terezi then apologizes to Gamzee. She's completely in shock about the whole thing. And then, like, you see Gamzee's face start to change, and then it's the stuff of nightmares. It goes from just him looking a little weird to his eyes changing to, like, scary clown face. Something straight from It. So, yeah, that was terrifying. And then he goes and attacks her, of course, and knocks her completely off guard. I don't think we're ever going to see this sweet, lovable Gamzee again. It's just so hard for me to, like, believe that the real Gamzee is, like, a complete psychopath, because I loved the high Gamzee. I loved him so much, and I don't want to hate Gamzee. I don't. But I'm starting to, and I don't like that. Okay, alright. So, Arania, shocked that Jane is, like, fighting this, and she's, you know, she's overcoming it, and, you know, that's proving something that I was wondering about, because, like, you see that the condense is able to mind control, and I was like, I thought that was just a circuit ability. Well, I don't know if she's like borrowing it or if I missed something, but I mean, if Jane's fighting her way through this and she's being controlled by Condense, and that means that Condense's mind control is more powerful than any circuit mind control, even a circuit that's had billions of sweeps to perfect this. So that's like, wow, that's pretty scary. All right, so back to Terezi. Basically, at this point, Gamzee is just beating the crap out of her, and the thing that happened whenever Terezi and Rose were on Rose's planet, the corruption, that's starting to happen again. And, like, it starts off slight, and it just gets, page by page, it starts to get a little bit worse. There was a point where where Gamzee, like, grabbed her horns, and I was like, oh my gosh, is he gonna rip them off? Because, oh, I don't have horns, but don't you think that would be painful? Oh my gosh, but he didn't. He just grabbed them in part of, like, his punching fits. So, yeah, then it goes back to Jane just, like, beating on Arania and, like, grabbing her face and punching her, and Arania notices that even though Brain Ghost Dirk is gone, his sword is still there, so, like, you see it, like, moving, so it's like, is Arania using her powers to try to levitate it? And then I'm sitting there going, oh no, she's able to stab Jane, and then, modify Jane's clock, then Jane could be dead forever, and then, like, is she gonna, I mean, she still has her powers, like when she's dead, like, she can still revive everybody, right? But she can't revive herself, because that Feferi in the Doom timeline, was she dead, or was she couldn't have been alive, right? I'm sorry, I'm theorizing, and we're supposed to be doing updates, but, like, if Jane dies, and if she stays dead, then who's gonna, like, revive everybody who's clearly, like, on the edge of death now? Like, you know, Jade is gone, and, Terezi might be gone, you know, like, I'm theorizing. It could be totally different. We have no idea. Hussie has a way of plot twisting. So you see a very corrupted clock, Jake's clock, but it's in the dead center, so of course he revives. He's fine. See, everybody was, like, so worried. He's fine. I mean, that was a really humiliating death. You think they're just gonna go, oh no, that was heroic. No, that was a silly death. He's fine. I figured he'd be fine. So, like, he's watching this whole thing with Terezi and Gamzee, and he's just not doing anything. He's just dumbfounded, just watching the whole time. Doesn't try to stop anything. But at this point, everything's so corrupted that, like, the pieces from the previous page are, like, stuck to, like, the page in front of you. Like, you can see bits of his clock in, like, the next scene. And Gamzee's, like, doing suplexes, backbreakers, all this stuff on Terezi, blood everywhere. Like, if you are triggered by this type of violence, I highly recommend that you don't watch, you don't look at the updates. It was a little hard for me, but, you know, I'm making this show, I'm reporting on the updates, but yeah, Gamzee's being really violent with Terezi, so if that's something you don't want to see, then you know, either listen to the summary like you're doing, or, like, read, like, a really in-depth summary. Don't watch it, because it's pretty bad. And at this point, I'm thinking, is anybody going to help Terezi? Is anybody going to help her? And you see Rose, like, going Gamzee to, you know, getting him to try to stop, and then she's like, is this what a Black Rom romance is supposed to be like? Because she doesn't think so, and she's like, she's basically thinking to herself and kicking herself because she was drunk during all of those lessons that Kanaya gave her, so, like, she doesn't know how to handle any of this, and she's like, I'm just going to be such a bad auspice. But, yeah, I would just wish somebody would help, because now they're both there staring. And, right around that time, you see, like, the ground that they're on, which is, like, they're on, like, the pieces that, Arania had broken, that had fallen on Jade. Like, they're on the pieces that are floating in, like, the lava water. And those break apart, separating Jake from them. And as they do that, Terezi falls into the lava water. I'm thinking it's lava. And, you know, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, there's no way she's going to survive this. Like, oh my goodness. And at the same time, Kanaya and Karkat show up. And, of course, Karkat is heartbroken. Like, he's shocked. Like, everybody's wondering, are his blood powers going to happen? Or what cool thing is going to happen? Like, oh my gosh, I hope something cool happens instead of something sad. But, yeah. That is where it ends, and I really wish it didn't. Like, I want another update so bad, because I want to see what's going to happen to Terezi. I want to see all these things. Oh, I just want to see all these things. So bad. But I think all of us feel that way. So, yes. That's the updates for this week. There were 2 really big ones, and nothing else. And, yeah. I hope you enjoyed them, and feel free to theorize with me about what's going on, because obviously I'm all into the theories right now. My brain is just filled. So, yeah. Hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you again in a little while, because I'm uploading 2 videos today, so, alright.